Hey guys, it's Rosina and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my kitchen. Now today's video, it's Thanksgiving, it's turkey time. So obviously happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the US that celebrates it. Hopefully your Thanksgiving is good, hopefully, with things currently going on, hopefully it's good. And if you're having a Friendsgiving and everything, I think this video today will be perfect for you guys. I was tasked to make a very special Thanksgiving side dish that our family loves, and that is a cheesy potato casserole, also known as funeral potatoes, which we're not going to call them funeral potatoes because we're not going to a funeral, guys, and because I don't do the crispy topping on top, because funeral potatoes usually call for a crispy topping, but we're not going to do that for our cheesy potatoes. So without further ado, let's get ready with this recipe. So the story behind this recipe is I actually got it from my mom, who got it from her side of the family, and I'm not entirely sure which side. I'm pretty sure it's the southern side, so that'd be my grandpa's side. But don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. I'll ask her sometime later. She'll give me the answer. But anyway, you're gonna just need these ingredients. Now, as you can see, I'm using a bag of shredded hash browns. Now, I'm using the shredded because I think it's better, because I know a lot of recipes call for the diced. My aunt does the diced potatoes, but I don't know. I just feel the shredded hash browns has a better texture, I guess I could say. So that's why we're using shredded. You can use diced if you want. If you want to do this for this recipe, you can. Now, I know you've noticed that I'm using two different cheeses. Now, Mom's recipe calls for just cheddar, and you can do just cheddar. But if you want to follow my recipe, you can do two different cheeses. Normally I do just cheddar, but I'm doing two this time. So I added in a little extra Gruyere. Now, I tweaked my mom's recipe a little bit, just a tad. I kind of double certain things. And it does call for some diced onions, but that's optional. If you want to do that, you can. I don't do it for mine because I just don't feel the onions are needed. And I know a lot of recipes call for it, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to do my recipe. So I hope you guys will like it. All right, we got our mixing bowl here. You're going to need a mixing bowl. Should probably mention that. But anyways, we got our mixing bowl ready. And now it's time to add in our ingredients. First ingredient you're going to need, your hash browns. So you're going to just use the whole bowl. So you're just going to use the whole bag. You also want to make sure that it is thawed, not still frozen. Just have it a little thawed. It'll be easier to mix. Shake that up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Next, you're going to want a stick of butter, but it's going to be melted. So when you're melting it, make sure it doesn't explode in the microwave or anything, because you're going to make a mess. Not that I would know. Definitely didn't make a mess in my microwave. Next, you're going to add in some sour cream. Now, you're just going to need 8 ounces, so literally just a little pint of sour cream. Now, my aunt adds in 16 ounces, but I think just the 8 ounces is enough to make this cheesy potatoes a little creamy. My aunt also adds in the onions, so if you, like I said, if you want to do the onions, I'll put it on the ingredients list, but it's just going to be optional. So I'd probably add in the onions probably at this point. All right, next, this is where I'm doubling something. My mom usually does only 1 can of this, but I'm using basically two cans of, the bird. I'm using 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. Now, they had a double can, so that's what I'm using here. And yes, I'm using the same spoon. It's not going to be a big deal. Now, this looks like a lot, but I will tell you, having a little extra of this chicken, cream of chicken, really makes a difference. All right, and then our last ingredients are cheeses. Now, I'm doing about probably 1 to 2 cups of cheddar and then about a cup of Gruyere. Now, like I said, this is the same thing that I'm doubling. I doubled the cream of chicken and the cheese. So if you just want to do cheddar, I would recommend doing 2 cups because my mom's recipe called for 1. So do 2 cups if you want to double it like I did. But I'm doing a little extra even then, so not doubling this time, just adding a little extra flavor with the Gruyere. Now the cheddar cheese that I use the Sharp Pinconning. Now, I just think the Sharp Pinconning gives it a little better taste, and I believe it melts a little better. And then Gruyere, I just grabbed any old Gruyere. And like I said, you don't have to do Gruyere if you don't want to. You can just do the cheddar, but I'm just adding the Gruyere for a little extra flavor. All right, now that all our ingredients are in, it's time to mix using the same spoon that I used. Hopefully I don't make a big mess. You know, while I'm mixing, you guys should tell me about your favorite Thanksgiving dishes that you have in Thanksgiving, if you celebrate it. I know it's more of a United States thing, but any of my peeps in America, let me know what side dishes you really like at Thanksgiving. I'd say a side dish I really like, besides these cheesy potatoes, is I am a roll girl. I love me some bread. So when I have my rolls, I am a happy girl. And let me tell you, my job for Thanksgiving before I started doing this, my only job, was I gotta sit there and add butter on top of our rolls before we put it in the oven. That was my job. Now, it's making cheesy potatoes and making punch. Because, you know, before my dad unfortunately passed away after Thanksgiving, when I made punch for him, he said, "You're now on punch duty." So that's why I make punch as well. Or that's why I'm on punch duty now. All right, that looks pretty mixed. Let's put it into our baking dish. Now, normally when I put all our ingredients into a pan, I normally do a pan size like this. This is a 9x13, and it's a nice little Pyrex glass one. I'd probably recommend putting in something like this. But I'm going to be doing a different dish for this recipe because I'm only going to be cooking half of what I'm making. And that's because my mom just wanted half. So that's what we're doing. The other half I'm going to be putting in a Ziploc bag and putting in the freezer. You can freeze this. And it can probably stay good in the freezer for about probably 4 to 6 months. I'm guessing. I never froze this before, so don't really take my word for it. But you can freeze it though. So I wouldn't worry. Just make sure it's not freezer burn stuff and it should be good. And now that our ingredients are mixed up, you're going to want to set your oven at 350. And if you're using the 9x13 pan, you're going to want to cook this for about an hour. But if you're going to do half, like I'm going to do, I'd say probably do it about 30 minutes. I'd probably check on it a little before 30 minutes, maybe at I'd say maybe at minute 20, just to make sure that it's not burning. And you want to cook this uncovered. You don't need to cover it or anything. Just cook it uncovered. 9x13, an hour. Half of it, I do about 30 minutes, but remember to check on it so it does not burn. All right, here's our cheesy potato casserole in its dish. Let's put it in the oven.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, out of the oven after 30 minutes. This is what the final product looks like. I'd say if you wanted a little more crispy on top, maybe another 10 minutes if you're doing half. But if you're doing the full 9x13 for an hour, it'll be perfect. And that is how you make my cheesy potato casserole. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know any other recipes you guys would like me to make or any other videos you guys would love to see from me. I make new videos every Wednesday/Thursday and Saturday. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!